Under the surface of modern warfare, hidden beneath the sands and rubble of contested territories, lie some of the most dangerous and sophisticated networks of underground tunnels ever built. These secret passageways are not only designed for concealment, but also for surprise, mobility, and asymmetric advantage. When reports surface that hundreds of soldiers lose their lives inside such networks, it immediately raises questions about how these underground environments are constructed, how they are defended, and why they pose such an extraordinary risk to conventional forces. The story of hundreds of soldiers perishing in a tunnel that cuts into Gaza is both tragic and revealing. It highlights how the battlefield is not always above ground but can be a labyrinth of hidden dangers. For decades, underground warfare has been a hallmark of guerrilla resistance, allowing smaller forces to counterbalance overwhelming technological superiority. These tunnels are not just holes dug in the earth. They are engineered with an incredible degree of planning and precision. Reinforced concrete, steel supports, ventilation systems, and even electrical wiring are often found within them. Some are large enough to allow vehicles or heavy equipment to pass, while others are narrow, claustrophobic corridors designed only for quick infiltration and escape. From a military perspective, tunnels are both an opportunity and a nightmare. For the defenders, they provide a hidden route to move undetected, to store weapons, and to launch ambushes. For the attackers, they represent an invisible threat that is difficult to neutralize without heavy losses. Imagine moving through a dark, confined space, unsure of what lies ahead. When every corner could be rigged with explosives, every wall could conceal a hidden passage, and every step could trigger a deadly trap. The incident of mass casualties inside a tunnel emphasizes how dangerous these spaces can be. One miscalculation in clearing or navigating them can lead to devastating consequences. Underground tunnels are often rigged with improvised explosive devices that can be detonated remotely. They may have booby traps hidden in walls, disguised floor panels that collapse into pits, or gas and chemical hazards. The air itself inside can become toxic, and without proper ventilation, soldiers can suffocate within minutes. Add to that the psychological pressure of being in a pitch-black, confined area, and the challenge becomes overwhelming. What makes these networks even more dangerous is their scale. Some extend 4 miles beneath the ground, forming an entire underground city with branching routes, hidden rooms, supply depots, and communication hubs. In Gaza specifically, tunnel networks have been reported to stretch beneath homes, streets, and even crossing borders. This means a force trying to clear them is not just fighting in one place, they are engaging in a shifting, invisible battlefield where the enemy knows every corner and has prepared every angle. From a design perspective, these tunnels often exploit modern engineering tricks. Builders use reinforced materials to prevent collapse. They install water pumps to deal with flooding, and they carve out hidden chambers for command centers. Some tunnels even include narrow escape shafts leading to disguised exits in civilian areas, making it nearly impossible for a conventional military to seal them off without significant collateral damage. The uniqueness lies in their blend of primitive digging with advanced tactical thinking. Each tunnel becomes a weapon in itself, designed not just for transport but for strategic ambush and defense. For the forces attempting to counter them, technologies have been developed from ground-penetrating radar and seismic sensors to specialized robots and drones designed for underground exploration. Yet even with this technology, the task remains incredibly dangerous. Robots may fail due to dust, humidity, or deliberate interference. Ground sensors can be confused by urban clutter. And even when tunnels are detected, clearing them requires human presence, which exposes soldiers to every hazard built into that underground world. Performance in tunnel warfare is not measured by speed or firepower, but by patience, adaptability, and survival. Every step forward in such an environment requires meticulous caution. Specialized units trained for years to deal with confined space combat, but no amount of training can completely remove the inherent risk. What happened in this case shows how overwhelming those risks can be when confronted by a tunnel network built with both skill and lethal intent. The tragedy also underscores the psychological warfare aspect of tunnels. Soldiers entering them are not only fighting the enemy, but also their own fear of suffocation, entrapment, and unseen danger. The narrow walls, the darkness, The silence broken only by sudden explosions or gun fear, these conditions test human endurance at its breaking point. For a conventional army, which is trained and equipped for open battlefields, the sudden shift to underground combat creates a severe disadvantage. Looking at the broader implications, tunnels like these are not just physical structures, they're symbols of resistance and persistence. They demonstrate how, in modern conflicts, technology and conventional superiority do not always guarantee safety. The underground domain becomes a leveling ground where even the most heavily armed forces can be caught off guard. This is what makes these secret networks such a unique feature of modern warfare. They challenge the very assumptions of how wars are fought, forcing armies to adapt, innovate, and confront dangers that cannot always be seen or predicted. The death of hundreds of soldiers inside a tunnel is a stark reminder that beneath the earth, a parallel battlefield exists, one that requires different strategies, specialized equipment, and an entirely different mindset. It also raises questions of how future militaries will evolve to deal with this threat, whether through more advanced robotics, better detection systems, or entirely new doctrines of underground combat. Because as long as tunnels remain a feature of warfare, they will continue to pose one of the greatest dangers to soldiers, no matter how advanced their equipment or training may be. The hidden networks, the traps, the suffocating air, the relentless psychological strain all combine to make tunnel warfare one of the deadliest arenas of modern combat. It is in these shadows beneath the earth where technology, human ingenuity, and raw fear collide, and where the cost of every mistake is counted in lives.